Hello everybody, and welcome to the first official video of the fairy tale series. So today we're going to be talking about the tale of the Oki Islands. And this one is out of Japan. So our story starts with a samurai. Now the samurai accidentally offended the emperor, and so the emperor exiles him to the Oki Islands. He's in a prison and he's not able to see his beautiful young daughter Tokyo. Loves this girl with all of his heart, and it pains him to be away from her. Tokyo is in the same boat, except she can actually go different places. So Tokyo goes to try to find her father. So she knows that he's on one of the Oki Islands, but she needs a way to get there. No one will ferry her across on their boat, no matter what she says, because no one's allowed to visit those who are on the Oki Islands. So our girl packs up some food, finds herself a boat, and takes off in the dead of night. She manages to reach the islands and finds herself a place to sleep. And then at first light, she's off again, asking around after her father. No one seems to know where he is, but she asks one of the local fishermen, and he tells her he's got no idea who this man is. And then he tells her, just stop asking about him. Don't mention him to anyone, because it could get you in trouble and it could get him killed. So this presents a problem, but Tokyo decides to stay on the Oki Islands and just listens and sees if she can find out anything about her father that way. One night, as she is sleeping after a visit to the local shrine, she hears the sound of clapping and a girl crying. Curious, she gets up and she goes towards the sounds, and she finds a priest and a girl who is around 15 on the edge of a cliff. And it's clear there's some sort of ceremony going on. And then all of a sudden, the priest goes to throw the girl off the cliff. Tokyo rushes in and yanks the girl away from the edge. The priest isn't mad, and he tells her, well, I can tell you're not from here, otherwise you'd know I don't actually want to be doing this. But our island is plagued by an evil god by the name of Yofune Nushi. I'm probably saying that wrong. But this evil god demands the sacrifice of a girl 15 years old or younger. Actually, it's younger than 15, but neither here nor there. On a specific day between the hours of 8 and 9 p.m. to be thrown off the cliff into the ocean. Otherwise, he brings huge storms and the fishermen are lost left and right. So Tokyo explains her situation to the priest and then offers herself as the sacrifice, saying, I really don't have anything left to be here for. Here's a letter to my father. If you're able to find him, please deliver this to him. Then she goes and prays for strength at a shrine to kill the evil god. goes back to the priest and the girl, takes the girl's robes, puts a dagger between her teeth, and jumps off the cliff. And the priest and the girl are shocked, but kind of hopeful. So Tokyo swims all the way down past schools of fish to the bottom of the ocean, or the sea, depending on the wording there. And she finds what she thinks is the evil god, but turns out to be a wooden statue of the emperor. Tokyo realizes that someone has carved it, cursed it, and dropped it into the sea in order to cause harm to the emperor. She is furious. And since this statue does have power over the emperor, if she does something to the statue, if she breaks it, strikes it, it can cause problems. But she chooses instead to rescue the statue in order to do good instead of evil, because it's better that way. But she ties her sash around the statue and around herself and goes to take it to the surface. But it's at this point, of course, that Yofune Nushi shows up. And he's this serpentine creature, dragon if you will. He's got big yellow eyes, and he's mad, as one would expect an evil god to be. And they do battle. Tokyo manages to take out one of his eyes. He can't get back into his home, and so she gets him through the heart. So now she has accomplished what she set out to do. So she takes both the body and the statue up to the surface. Now the priest and the girl have been waiting for her this entire time and manage to get her and the items that she's carrying onto the beach. The rest of the village comes, sees what's going on, and they take the girl back to the village to recuperate. And then they send somebody to the emperor to tell them what happened. And it's at this point that we learn that the emperor has been sick for a while. But whenever the statue was brought up out of the water, all those many miles away, he suddenly got better. So when he hears that Tokyo, the daughter of this exiled samurai, is responsible for his release, he does the honorable and sane thing and orders that her father be taken out of exile. And the two of them are reunited and they go back home. And the name of Tokyo still lives on in Japan to this day. So, this is honestly one of my absolute favorites because of the heroine, right? Tokyo is tenacious. She doesn't let anything stop her from achieving these goals that she has. The first one, of course, is finding her father and reuniting with him. And then the other ones of rescuing the village from this evil god and getting the statue back up to the surface so that she can uncurse the emperor. Even though she runs into issues like she can't even ask after her father, she's she's able to figure out other ways to help him. And in the end, she's able to figure out other ways to get around these issues. And all of us need this trait. But then she's also very compassionate. She has compassion on the girl and essentially the entire village who is bound by the curse of this evil god. And she goes to help them, even though it doesn't necessarily help her to reach her goal of getting her father back. And then when she's down at the bottom of the sea, she is given the opportunity to get back at the emperor. Or maybe it doesn't do anything. I don't know. But at that moment she decides, I'm not going to destroy the statue. I'm going to do something good, because that's better than doing evil. And obviously in this story it works out for her, because it's a fairy tale and things generally do in fairy tales. But I mean, as a Christian, I look at this and go, wow, yeah, tenacity. As Christians, we're called to keep going in life. Things are going to be hard. Things are going to be difficult. You may have to, you will, it's not a may, you will have to go against the culture in some way based on things that God has said. You might lose friends. Not because you're a jerk or anything, but because people don't like. Not because you're a jerk or anything, but because you love Jesus. Some people are not cool with that. And then compassion is probably the one that most people think of when they think of Jesus. The one who eats with sinners, and the one who is healing the sick and helping the poor and all that sort of thing. So Tokyo is one of my favorite heroines out of all of them. And plus, she dives into the sea and fights a snake-like creature. I'm just saying, that's awesome. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I'm going to be continuing this series. Let me know if you have any folk tales that you would like me to cover, and I'll take a look. Alright, have a great weekend, and happy reading, everybody. Hello, everybody, to the intro video for the fairy tale series. So with this series, I'm going to be diving into some of my favorite folk tales and fairy tales, which, just so we're all aware, these terms are generally used interchangeably. Nobody's gonna bite you if you use one or the other, hopefully. So you're gonna notice me doing that throughout the series. But I wanted to start this so that I could share some of my favorite fairy tales that maybe aren't as common, at least in the US, right? We're probably all familiar with Cinderella, Snow White, and Jack and the Beanstalk, those sorts of stories. But we may not be familiar with those from other inhabited continents. So I'm going to be sharing some of my favorites on Fridays for the next, I'm not sure how long, and then sharing some of my thoughts. It's not going to be an academic deep dive because that's not my wheelhouse at the moment. But if I am covering a fairy tale that I know someone else has done that kind of deep dive on it, I will put the link to whatever resource that is in the description of the video. You're also welcome to share that in the comments, but I'm probably not going to be giving out too many academic sources or anything like that. But I am really excited to share all of these with you. And if you have any fairy tales, folk tales, what have you, that you would like me to read and talk about in future videos, be sure to leave those in the comments, and I will either tell you, hey, I've read that one, or that sounds cool, something. You'll get a response, and it will probably be featured on the channel. This isn't going to be a forever thing, but maybe just over the summer, something fun. All right, if you want to go ahead and get started, I have a video on the tale of the Oki Islands out of Japan already posted for you. All right, y'all have a great weekend. Happy reading, everybody.